Hey guys, it's Dylan. So, I suck at the worm, if you couldn't... Is that the worm? No, that's the wave? The worm? Tell me in comments, I don't know what that's called. As you can tell from behind me, high exposure levels. You know what else has had a lot of exposure recently? The Fault in Our Stars, the youth novel by John Green, noted YouTuber, vlogbrother, author. Tonight, I went to see the Fault in Our Stars movie with Sarah, and I thought I would just do a review of the film. Now, I'd like to preface this by saying I haven't read the book, so there will be specific instances where I simply say, maybe it's better in the book, and the movie just had to cut it out. So, I'm not going to give away any spoilers, because, I think that the story can be spoiled if you go into it knowing what's going to happen. So, I'm going to just talk about it very generally. So, The Fault in Our Stars as a movie was, in my opinion, a generic teen romance movie. It's about two people who fall in love and, have an adventure together, so to speak. A grand adventure, like they do in most movies. The only difference is we have some cancer added in. I'm not entirely sure that the cancer aspect makes this film unique enough to differentiate it from the 100 other teen romance movies that they continually make. Now, what I will say is that these teen movies, regardless of their originality, are summer blockbusters, and that's something The Fault in Our Stars is shaping up to be. Now, from a movie perspective, I don't think this movie is groundbreaking, and I think it's really a very generic teen romance story. That's not to say anything of the book, which Sarah has read and told me had a lot more wry and witty humor, which is something we've come to expect and, frankly, cherish from John Green. So I think the movie really does a disservice in cutting out a lot of that wry humor. And while I understand it wouldn't play well with film audiences, I think what would make the film stand out as something unique is that wry and witty sarcastic humor. As it stands now, the film for me was a very generic love story, and I personally would not choose to watch it if I was given a choice of movies. That doesn't necessarily surprise me, though, because I'm not entirely convinced that The Fault in Our Stars is a book I would choose to read of my own. Well, I think John is a great author, and I think he writes stories that appeal to everyone. I'm not a huge lover of the romance story genre. I'm much more into the kind of thinky, visceral novel like Catch-22 or Slaughterhouse-5, where yes, the story itself is based in a war, but really Catch-22 and Slaughterhouse-5 transcend their narrative in a way that a lot of romance stories just don't, and I think the movie, The Fault in Our Stars, certainly did not transcend its face value. The book, with witty comments and wry dialogue, may actually transcend that. I don't know, I haven't read it. But on the merits as a film, I would rate The Fault in Our Stars kind of like a 6 out of 10. It's not bad, but it didn't really blow me away. So, that's about all I have today. I've also been watching the World Cup. I have a bunch of games to catch up on because I didn't get to see the two today, or, well, yesterday for you guys, and I have 3 more coming up today, the today for you guys, but I'm going to talk about the World Cup in tomorrow's video. Hopefully you can get into that if you're an American. I know you probably don't care about football. Yes, I call it football because it's the only sport I follow, but that's all I have, so I will see you guys tomorrow.